Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. The same story keeps going on. I just woke up to some breaking news going into the FC Barcelona versus Paris Saint Germain Champions League game. We'll start with Paris Saint Germain's injury update, if you want to call it that. Bradley Barcola and João Neves are likely to make their return to the squad for the game versus Auxerre this Saturday. Great news. Which means they will both be available for the Barca game. We need João Neves, top player. Bradley Barcola, with Desiree Doué and Dembele out, we need him as well. Desiree Doué continues his recovery work while resuming running exercises on the field. There's a possibility he can part of the squad versus Barca, but as of now, it seems unlikely to happen as the club don't want to rush him return to prefer avoid any risks. So, Desiree Doué is unlikely to be part of the Barca squad currently. Why? Because Paris Saint Germain wants to avoid every single risk of a relapse and him getting injured again, which is completely understandable. But from a long time ago, we knew that the aim for Desiree Doué was coming back into the FC Barcelona game, a bit similar to, Lamine Yamal is doing the same thing. He's looking at that game as the game to come back in. But when it comes to Lamine Yamal, the reports are saying he will probably be in the squad versus Real Sociedad on Sunday, whilst Desiree Doué will probably not be in the squad versus Auxerre this Saturday for Paris Saint Germain. So when it comes to Paris Saint Germain, Bradley Barcola and João Neves, we got some great news. Desiree Doué, not some great news. And then this report came out. João Neves, Desiree Doué, Ousmane Dembele continue their recovery programs. Marquinhos suffers from a left quadricep injury. He will remain in care for the upcoming, the club announced via medical report. Marquinhos is out for weeks. And this isn't that surprising because even when I discussed will Zabarni start at Paris Saint Germain and everything, I said that I remember from last season and previous seasons, now that Marquinhos is getting a little bit older, he's getting a couple of injuries. Last season, as you can see, he's out for 22 days, missing 6 games with an adductor injury. And then in 23-24, he was out in 3 different occasions, 5 days, 11 days, and 47 days. Achilles tendon, contusion, hamstring injury, adductor pain. And as you can see, I think it's mostly like muscle injuries, I guess. So yeah, Marquinhos is out for weeks. Thankfully, we have Ilya Zabarny who will take Marquinhos' spot. Right-footed centre-back. That's why we bought Zabarny for situations like this. But what this also means is Zabarny is having to start every single game. I mean, he's the only right-footed. Yes, we have Lucas Beraldo, we have Lucas Hernandez, but all 3 of them are left-footed. And when it comes to Marquinhos, this happened, I think, in the Marseille game. Luis Enrique Marquinhos felt pain in the later stages of the game versus Marseille. It's nothing serious, but we need to be cautious. We don't want to make any risk. It's a shame because he's our captain. So, already looking at predicted lineup for Paris Saint Germain is a bit tough. But as I said, the bigger thing with Marquinhos isn't that he's out for the Barca game. It's that he's out for 3 weeks. Yeah, we will probably have to see Pacho, Beraldo, Lucas Hernandez. We've seen Lucas Hernandez play as a right-footed centre-back. I remember that tie versus Real Sociedad away. Obviously, Lucas Hernandez is a different player. But I'm saying this rotation in Ligue 1. When it comes to the big Barca game, you definitely play Pacho and Zabarny. And Zabarny I'm completely calm with. I mean, he was probably my man of the match versus Marseille from the Paris Saint Germain side. But we'll come to the lineup of how Paris Saint Germain will now look like against Barca because we got to look at another big report. And this time, it's from Barca. I watched the game yesterday. Raphinha was subbed out, maybe 60th minute. Justin Hansi Flick confirmed that he subbed off Raphinha because the player felt discomfort in his leg. Justin Raphinha getting subbed off is not serious. It's just a hamstring discomfort. Raphinha did not train with the team today. He stayed in the gym. And now comes the banger. Breaking Raphinha is out until after the international break. He is injured. So Raphinha basically out as long as Dembele, because Dembele's aim is also like 20th of October, right straight after the international break. And now Raphinha is out for that time as well, which means he will fully be missing the Paris Saint Germain game. This is breaking news. It's so unfortunate with all of these injuries going into this game. Like, how many players? Desiree Doué could miss the game. Ousmane Dembélé 100% missing the game. Marquinhos 100% missing the game. And then you look at Barca. Balde, I still don't know exactly by his situation, but he could potentially also miss the game. But I've seen that Balde is back in training. Gavi 100% missing. Fermin Lopez 100% missing. And then obviously a little bit of uncertainty with Lamine Yamal. We'll check up on those quickly right here. Let me see. Yamal is back in training. Lamine Yamal and Balde are currently training with the players who did not start last night. Hi, I'm back. So cringe. But yeah. It looks like Yamal and Balde are back for FC Barcelona for the upcoming game. But yeah, this is Raphinha news, man. I know one thing. I remember, because a lot of Barca fans said this when the Dembélé Desiree Doué reports about injury came out. And they said, oh, you guys were so hyped about playing in the Club World Cup. I didn't know Barca played in the Club World Cup as well. I don't know, man. It just the narratives created all the time. They're hilarious. They're hilarious. But no, I hope a quick recovery for Marquinhos, for Ousmane Dembélé, for Desiree Doué, for Raphinha as well. It's unfortunate a big game like this, a game that we were all, hyped up and excited for, ends like this. Ends like this with, a bit weakened squad. Raphinha, huge player for Barca, especially in the Champions League group stage last season. Dembouz, Ballon d'Or, Desiree Doué. This was a game I wanted him as well, that Doué Yamal thingy. We could have kept it going. But you know what? Well, let's get into the lineup. Let's get into the lineup going into this game for both sides. Barabim. Where is it? Baraboom. Barabao. Alright, we got both lineups here. PSG we can actually fix up here towards the end. Let me see. So I think this was the lineup versus Atalanta we were looking at. It will be Chevalier in goal. Obviously Marquinhos is out, so Zabarni will take the right centre-back spot. It will be Hakimi. Neves should be available. Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz. So, like, goalkeeper, defense, midfield, I'm very happy. Barcola. Khvicha up in attack. And then when it comes to that central position, it could be Gonçalo Ramos. It could be Kangili. And it could be Mayulu. That's obviously who Luis Enrique opted to play versus Atalanta. I just hope I don't see Gonçalo. This dude, off the bench, yes. Give me Gonçalo off the bench. He could score a goal against that Barça Araujo defense. But starting, Mbaye playing like Khvicha or Barcola as the striker with Mbappe as the right winger. We did see a 5 at the back versus Marseille. Imagine you just put Lucas Hernandez here and then you keep Khvicha Barcola up top. And then push the fullbacks a bit more. We saw Luis Enrique do that versus Marseille. Maybe it was a little bit of preparation for the Barca game. I think the Auxerre game will give us some hints. Because usually, Luis Enrique sometimes ahead of a big game plays a full rotation lineup. Sometimes he plays the best lineup and subs them out early. So if he plays the best lineup, then we'll know basically what we're going to play. But yeah, it's mostly the attack that's a bit depleted without Dembélé and Doué. Marquinhos, honestly, not the biggest myths. I think Marquinhos, I'm more worried that he's out for such a long time, which is going to put a lot of minutes on these two, especially Ilya Zabarni, but hopefully Lucas Hernandez and Lucas Beraldo can step up in that place. But I don't think the level is that much, especially with the performance I saw from Zabarni. And you know what? We bought him for 66 million. We're after him for 2 months. This is the big game we signed him for to perform in. And now let's come to FC Barcelona. FC Barcelona, it's a bit harder because I don't have all the players. So Juan Garcia in goal. We just do it like this. Juan Garcia in goal, 100%. Kubarsi Araujo, 100%. Kubarsi on the left, Araujo on the right. Balde looks like he's back. Jules Koundé as the right back, despite Eric Garcia performing really well. Pedri, obviously Gavi is injured, so it will be Pedri, De Jong, and Olmo. Fermin Lopez is injured. Maybe we could see a cheeky Casado. And actually, straight after the game yesterday, Barca played versus Real Oviedo. I was thinking, like, Rashford is in great form, Yamal is coming back, Raphinha is in good form, Leva, you know, cheeky form. How will Barca line up? But now it's much easier with Rashford playing as a left winger with Raphinha out, Yamal on the right, and Robert Lewandowski up top. Those are the two lineups I'm predicting at the moment going into the game between FC Barcelona and Paris Saint Germain. But it's unfortunate with these injuries, but as I always say, it is part of the game. We cannot complain. The only complaint I have is for this game. You know, this was supposed to be that game, and we're getting all of these injuries and so on. Like Raphinha, like Marquinhos, honestly, as I said, it's not the biggest for this game. But Raphinha, you know, he was supposed to be one of the most dangerous and threatening Barca players in this time. I mean, Rashford, he is in very good form. So I don't even think Barca fans should be that like, oh my God, Raphinha's going to miss the game. You have Rashford who's in good form. It's a good test for him. And lastly but not least, this is a group stage game. I remember Barca last season, you guys had Balde, Lewandowski. Who else? Maybe someone else injured for that. Koundé as well for the Inter second leg. And you got knocked out. Well, this is a group stage game. If the worst happen, if PSG win, or if the worst happen and Barca win, it's not going to matter at the end of the day. But yeah, it is unfortunate. But as I said, it is part of the game. I would not be complaining about injuries. And this is where the squad depth comes into play for both Barcelona and Paris Saint Germain. That's been it from boy PSG. And hopefully, guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez Paris.